The first thing is, well, he stopped. The text says, in verse 49, it says, Jesus stopped. The Son of God, the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, stopped. Do y'all hear me this morning? Are y'all getting an inkling of what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
He stopped. And the funny thing about it is, he stopped because he was moved. Now that doesn't make any sense to anybody, does it? Jesus stopped because he was moved. What was he moved by? He was moved by this man who was blind. He was blind, wasn't he?
Yeah.
That means he couldn't see. Amen?
Amen.
He was blind and couldn't see, but yet somehow he knew that Jesus was coming by. He knew that Jesus was coming by where he was, and he didn't want to let the giver of life, he didn't want the giver of sight, he didn't want the be-all, end-all to pass him by without shouting and crying out to him. See, we don't know how long Bartimaeus was blind. And see, Mark don't give us the details about how long Bartimaeus, the son of Timaeus, was blind. He doesn't tell us whether he was blinded by some work, mistake or mishap, and somehow some chemicals or whatever got in his eyes and blinded him. Mark doesn't give us the details of whether he was blind when he came out of his mama's womb. Mark doesn't give us the details of whether some accident happened to this man to make him blind, but we see here in the text that Bartimaeus couldn't see. But Jesus came by, and he didn't want to let him pass by. Jesus comes by and he starts shouting. He says, look back on these verses. It says, when he heard that it was Jesus, he began to shout, Jesus, Son of David, have mercy on me. Jesus stopped because somebody was calling his name. That's what he does for us too, doesn't he? But we just have to call out his name, amen? But when we're in trouble, when we're in need, Jesus will stop if we would call out his name. He paused because somebody was calling his name. He did the stopping for this man, and just as he did this stopping for blind Bartimaeus, the same way he'll do some stopping for you and for me. He's not so busy about his Father's business that he won't stop for us when we are in need of him to do some stopping. He stopped for Bartimaeus. He stopped for us. And I'm glad about it this morning. I'd have been messed up, toe up from the flow up, if he had been too busy to stop for me. And I submit to you that if he hadn't stopped for you, you'd be messed up too, amen?